Welcome, everyone, to the arc finale of #1 Sentai Gozyuger. Go to #1. Go to #1. That's right. Episode 19. Whiteburn with 2 hearts. And it's an arc finale, which means I have to go looking for a new background. And it's July 4th. So happy Americajin Day. And more importantly, because we got our studio completely back to normal, it's time for us to pop a little bit of that bubbly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's Kamen Rider Gov cider. It's basically pear flavored, but still very sweet and tasty and whatnot. And quite frankly, I like pear better than apple. I don't know about you, but that is my preference. But yeah, and yes, we got some comments already coming in. Thank you for showing up, even though it's a national holiday. Oh boy, where do we even begin with this episode? We got the engine Daiju Gao. Oh,
Black Daiju Gao Kano.
Yeah, Gao Kano. Oh man, that is one mouthful. Yes, we got 7 swords: the bear, the dragon, the T-Rex, the pterodactyl, the shark, the condor, and the white tiger.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, one of these days. Okay, first of all, I remember I was making the joke of like there should have been a Megazord that combines Hurricane Blue, Abare Black, Deca Break, Magi Yellow, Magi Shine. Yeah. And Boken Silver. But, I will also accept a Gatai made out of an eagle, a fox, a bottlenose dolphin, an octopus, and a household cat. Yeah, it's a Hot Rod reference. And you're expecting an epic showdown of tremendous proportions because we got Tegasword unicorn formation, and you got Budabang on his jet ski. Nope, nothing happens. Nope, they just make a run for it as soon as they see the guys show up. Yeah. This opening was very mid. Yeah. And turns out Horo is now working at a honey pot.
But not for long.
Yeah, but not for long, because our honey connoisseur has to show up. It's like, well, you have to know all kinds of things about honey. Different trees make different kinds of honey, as well as different bees, where certain forms of honey taste better seasonally, and some forms of honey taste better with certain kinds of food. Basically, I have to ask myself, do lions like mayonnaise? Now, Patrick, lions do not like mayonnaise. But Kamen Rider Beast loves mayonnaise.
Yep, that he does.
Yeah, but apparently that is too much of a problem for us. So, here we are. Turns out Horu gets fired. Like, he gets carried out of a job. Like, yeah, never have I seen Black Air Force energy coming from one draped in white. Yep. But while moping around in his jobless state, Horo finds a mysterious woman who is very familiar. It's the girl from the flashback.
And it's not his mom.
Yeah, like I can't believe we all thought it was his mom because she's so much older and he was so much younger. But now, for some reason, they're the same age.
Somehow.
Look, I know the show Erased was a really good anime, but do you really have to kind of like do a reverse of that? Speechless. I'm just speechless. Apparently, this kid had a crush on this much older woman who is now the same age. You know, I know there was a running joke in Go Busters of who's older between Gene and Ryuji. But come on, guys. Come on, guys. And of course, everyone else is like, wait a minute. Does Crunky Wonky have a crushy washy? Does Poromoru has having an ooh?
Moeru. So, Howling Fire.
Yeah. Hey, that actually works.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like are you going ooh over an ara? Please stop before I go yada yada, because this relation is muda.
Yep.
Yeah. But everyone else is going doki doki over the Kirameki in his eyes. See, I can make jokes using onomatopoeias. Yeah, and interestingly enough, throughout their date, the other four Rangers use their previous number one powers. Like for example, our Filipino Black Ranger uses her Yenta powers to snoop around to see whether or not they're on a date. Obviously, I'm not going to use the other word, so I'm sticking to the Yiddish word. Yes. So yeah, she's using her number one Yenta powers. But all of you in Manila know which word I'm actually thinking of. You know the word I'm thinking of. And then it's like, hold on, we need a distraction. Quick. Quick, you old man, you use your number one party power. Yeah, what's up? I got some of this flaming hot. I'm just kidding. It's not boa juice. No, but he does get him some flaming hot Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Do the Moro. I like you think it's like Oda, you don't have to drink that if you don't want to. No, she's like, bitch, you better drink that. Come on, YOLO swag Haro, you gotta do it. It's like, fine. Strike first, strike hard. Basically, he tries to do an impression of me from last month. But you know me.
Yeah, he's got fire breath.
Very melon. Yeah. So they go to a matcha place. And then Ryuji uses his number one politeness powers to interfere with the dates. No. You're supposed to do it like this. I would have to say this is probably the most boring of his powers, which is a darn shame considering that he got his powers facing off against a ranger using a battleizer.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Champion Red Racer.
Yeah. So they go to a garden. where Leon uses his #1 heartthrob powers. Say I love you, then embrace her, then do something inappropriate, get slapped, then get hit by a car, come back to life, become a detective, enter a tournament, almost die twice, then go to high school, then drop out, go to a demon world, then come back 3 years later without explanation. That's the plot of Ghost Fighter. Basically, trying to teach him to become Eugene Urameshi. Yeah. Oh, that feels so good. Meanwhile, during a campout, our godness gets attacked by a certain bastardness. And yeah, so basically, Kumo is attacked by Kuon. God damn it, his name is so annoying. And basically, the two of them have a fight. It's like, oh, by the way, how's that scar doing? How do you know about that scar? Oh yeah, Diabolico told me about it. You see, as the god of your... Well, hold on, I gotta do this the right way. As the god of your world, I know things that is privy only to myself. You think that you were going to be the #1 destroyer of this world, but I am its #1 hero. I will create heaven, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. And then they fight. But first, they have exchange of words, and then they fight. Wait, no. First, they have to morph. Now, and then they fight, and it lasts for a very short amount of time, and they both each lose a ring, and basically transform each other's ring back into their basically blue and gold, 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 blue and gold. Yeah, but consider the fact that the trade-off is Geki Ranger versus Ninja, I'd have to say Kuma got the better end of the deal.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Geki Ranger is fantastic.
Yeah. No, Geki Ranger is phenomenal. So it's like Oh yeah. Get it. Kemono no Chikara. Hibike. Kemono no Sakibi. Togetsumasu. Kemono Yaiba. Beast on. Oh man, I love that show.
Oh yeah. It was my first Sentai.
Sayo Migaite. Onori no Mirai o Kirirake. Amazing ability. Geki Choppa. Yeah, like it's one of those few seasons where my favorite Ranger's the same Ranger in both versions.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, Ken and Dominic are my favorites. But yeah. Meanwhile, our heroes go on a picnic, or rather, Horo goes on a picnic, and we got some. Onigiri, some sandwiches, some other snacks, a little bit of the bubbly, and but then Amine's like, listen, Horo, there's something I have to confess to you. It's been weighing on me for the longest time.
And then she gets shot.
Yeah, turns out the person who shot her was Kuon, and I hate that bastard. Not gonna lie, in Fire Force, there's a character very similar to that, and it's that very character that made me lose interest in watching season 2. I never finished Fire Force. I already know it's a prequel to Soul Eater, but still. But yeah, no, it's like, oh, you you were just going after a ghost. Because she was already completely consumed by a No.1 before she had a chance to escape, which means that she was never here to begin with. And of course, Kuma's like, you bastard. No one tortures Horo except me. How dare I will kick your ass for free. And of course, Horo's like, no. This is my burden to bear. This is my sendo. Man, that the JoJo vibes in this episode. I'm just loving it. And of course, Horo goes, and Kuan goes, and yeah, like Kuan summons 3 like dummy rangers. Goggle Red,
Red Turbo, and 5 Red.
And 5 Red, yes. So 2 really good seasons right there. Never seen Goggle 5, so I can't really judge that one.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Oh man, that one's a classic. I definitely have that season, so we could just watch it independently at some point. Yeah. So the rest of our heroes end up fighting them off. Not much to see from there, but then Kuon gets really pissed. So now he summons Engine Daiju Gao Ken O. God damn it, it's so hard. Yeah, because now it's torture time for Horo. And
this episode has been torture time for Hoeru.
Yeah. But then Kuma says, no, it's not torture time for you just yet. And so of course, Gudabang shows up with a parasol, and of course, father and son finally team up. And that parasol turns into a giant dome, where the 2 of them combine into Tegasword Whiteburn. Oh, literally, his hands look like this. So it's like, yeah. It's like, you could dance if you want to. You could leave your friends behind because they don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine. Tegasword. Come on, put on that ring. Tegasword. Come on, put on that ring. And of course, he has like freaking Dragon Caesar's finger missile thing from out of nowhere.
Yep.
At least with like Zenkaiger, it's like it's supposed to be a hybrid of Dragon Caesar and Q-Rex.
Yeah.
Quantum Caesar. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, V-Rex.
Yeah. V Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Rex. Yeah, no, V Caesar sounds way better. Yeah. Quantazord Maximus. But yeah, no, it's but yeah, and it's like I fire the missiles, you aim them. I'm like, that's a very inconvenient control system. It's like, yeah, like they share the same cockpit. And yeah, you see the black robe and the white robe, and of course, Kuma is above Horo because he has to be. He's his holy godness. But also, I love how Horo affirms that he's an atheist. I bow to no god because I walk alone because I am a wolf. Here I go again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known. Yeah, and so they both use their finisher attack, which involves the spirits of their respective animals duking it out. So you have a wolf and a bear going up against a T-Rex, a pterodactyl, a condor, a dragon, a bear, a shark, and a tiger. 7v2. I like those odds. And yeah, I'm genuinely surprised that we don't have any repeat animals in this combination. But hey, good for you. Good for you. You know, you could have added the front of a boat to that, but I'm glad you didn't. Because otherwise it would have been too much. And as Spice Girls say, too much of something is bad enough, and too much of nothing is just as tough. But yeah, so they defeat the engine Daiju Gao Ken O, and like it practically self-destructs while he tries to like apparatus his way out of there. Apparate. That thing from Harry Potter where they teleport.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep forgetting what it's called. It's like, I want to say apparatus, but I know that's an actual word in science. So it's like apparate. Hold on. I need to look it up because it's going to bother me. Teleportation in Harry Potter. Apparition. Apparition. Yeah. So I was very close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's yeah, so he apparates out of there. And yeah, so we find out that what Mine actually wanted to tell him was, yeah, I'm sorry that I told you not to have wishes. Like, but if I had wishes, the No.1 worlds would have absorbed me. Yes, because you were in their world. But now that you're here and a full-grown adult, you got to find your own wish. And so the wolf and the Buddha have one final dinner while the Buddha tries to trample on the flowers that he got from Mine for some reason. It's like, you did a great job, number 2. It's like, B, please, I'm an atheist. I'll be my own number 1, no matter what you have to say. It's like, we'll see about that. And that's where we end the arc. Ring, ring, my ring, ring, my ring, ring, my ring. Ring, ring, my ring, ring, my ring, ring, my ring. And in the next episode, we find Sumino's sister. She becomes Shinken Red.
That she does.
All right. Thoughts on this episode?
Well, it's interesting to finally see that woman from Hoera's childhood, and then, of course, she's not his mother, but I mean, which is fine. But we find out the reason why Hoeru doesn't have wishes, but now he's going to pursue one now. And then, of course, Kuon, being a bastard, shoots her right before she can tell him what she wanted to tell him, but she tells him anyway in her dying breath. And of course, we get to see more of Black Daiju Gaon Kano. It's an interesting combination.
Yes, it is.
And it could work for an American adaptation.
Yes, it can. And
of course, Hasbro's not going to do that.
Yeah, or Playmates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I miss Bandai America, man. It's like, yeah, the Zords there were low quality, but they were inexpensive, which justified the lower quality. And they had Zord Builder function, so you could combine them and whatnot. Which, Universal's Megazord series does now.
Yeah, and plus, at least they generally released everything. I mean, yeah, there were a few things like, the Wild Force Elephant Zord, the Mighty Mammoth from Ninja Storm, the purple Pachycephalosaurus from Dino Thunder. But other than that, they generally release everything.
Yeah, I think the one thing they didn't really release was Catastros in Mystic Force.
Oh yeah, they didn't release that either, but it did get a UK release.
That was the interesting part because I have seen like English boxes for it. That was because it was a UK release. Man, I really wish I had Catastros. I mean, I have Saint Kaiser, don't get me wrong, but I kind of want to have both horses. You know, it's like that song. You know, it's like that song by Thriller Killer Clowns. You know the one I'm talking about, right?
No.
Basically, it's basically a song about like basically it's a song called Magical Mysteries, and basically asking like questions like it's like what's with islands, get more land, what's with deserts, get less sand, isn't a volcano just an angry hill, how did God even think of dirt erasable pens make my head hurt?
I see.
Yeah. So basically there's like a verse that goes like, now here's a list of some stuff: trees, swans, capes, a horse, triangles, which is a different horse, 2 horses. So of course it's like I have to have the 2 horses. You know, like you got Saint Kaiser and Catastros.
Yeah.
Ducks, triangles, which is a cape, a horse, other stuff, a different horse, 2 horses. Yeah. You know, the world is full of 10,000 people, and Santa Claus created all of us equal. That is also part of the lyrics.
But yeah, like it was a pretty good episode. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I also give it a 9 out of 10. Actually, I give it a 9.8 out of 10. It was an almost perfect episode. I could stand to have a little bit more candelabra and bouquet, but the thing is, if they did show up, the episode would have probably felt too cluttered. But I do love how the other 4 Rangers, you know, they did do callbacks to past episodes because they used the abilities of the monsters that they've defeated in the past. I'm surprised Horo didn't even use his treasure hunt power, for example, because he did defeat the treasure hunt No.1 World.
Yeah.
But man, I still can't get over the fact that Sumino used her Yenta No.1 World power. Yeah. And if I recall correctly, what's his name? Byakuya has 2 powers: the heartthrob power and the animal calling power.
Yeah.
No, wait, it's tag power.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, it should definitely be somewhere there. Man, I can't believe we're already 19 episodes in and 2 arcs done.
Yep.
Yeah, man, this second arc only lasted 10 episodes. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. You'd think it would have lasted till episode 23 or something.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, what are your thoughts on the arc as a whole, episodes 10 through 19?
Pretty good. You know, it's been a fun series. I really love the Gozyuger suits, and the animals that they have are interesting. So, and then, you know, this whole arc thing, and then finding things out, and then we finally figure out who this woman was and such. So, yeah.
Yeah, so what score would you give the arc?
9 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this arc isn't quite as good as the first arc, specifically because it's become a lot more blatant in the issues that the season as a whole has had thus far, where it feels like we're watching 3 different story arcs at the same time and that are just completely disjointed. It's nice that we got some kind of progress with the whole Tega June thing. And, the birth of Gudabang. But the thing is, it's like, feel like it didn't really amount to anything because the consequences for that episode was only just for one episode.
Yeah, it is kind of weird how that works out.
Yeah, so that was kind of an issue for me. It's like the next episode, everything's back to normal without any explanation whatsoever, and that just really bothers me. And I've given solutions for this before. You should make it a thing where the world is mostly restored, but then there's like pocket areas where things are still distorted, and like basically like we have to find those little pockets and like undo them. Like that would be a good work. Yeah, and like every episode where we focus on a different character, like that character could stumble upon that pocket. Like it's like, oh, here's an area where everyone's required to use their manners and there's no escape, or oh, here's an area where no one's able to escape unless they solve a mystery. Think of it like Tokyuger. I like how like different stations have like different rules based on which bad guy is in charge of that stop. Like there's an area where no one's allowed to eat, or there's an area where every hour on the hour people are forced to duel each other to the death.
Yeah.
It's a little dark for a kids show, but I kind of like that concept. Or an area where everyone's required to play red light, green light.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you could make it work. You could keep it creative, and yes, it's like, yeah, you could have like a designated ranger ring that you get from it. So yeah, as a whole, I give it an 8 out of 10. But the highlight was Kumade's arrival and how like, oh, he was the previous Red Ranger. We almost had instances where Carter Grayson and Akashi Satoru both became the 6th Ranger.
Yeah.
But they didn't. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. But here we have an actual Red Ranger that became a 6th Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. The first one we ever see since Jason from Zeo.
Yep.
But that one doesn't count because he was red in a different season.
Yep.
Yeah. But let us know what you guys thought. Did you like this episode? Did you like this arc? What do you think is going to happen next, aside from like the whole Sumino's sister showing up thing? Axel says hi. How are you? Are Wolf and Polar officially friends now? I doubt it.
Yeah, I'd say they're on slightly better terms.
I think they're more cordial, but they're still going to be at each other's throats. Remember, they were both Red Ranger at one point, and too much red energy can be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So how does a black Daijujin have Shinkenger legs? Well, that's a good question. I didn't really put much thought into this. Yeah, next episode is Shinkenger, so how does he summon the Ryugami and Kumagami? That's a good question.
Yeah.
So does the Ring Hunter deserve redemption at this point? No, he doesn't.
No.
He's a jerk face. He's a joik face. So we still haven't seen Goju Polar turn into a past Red Ranger. But does he need to? If I may invoke Ben 10 Ultimate Alien, he can like summon like ultimate versions of some of his existing aliens, like Ultimate Humongosaur, Ultimate Big Chill, Ultimate Firevine. I forgot the name of that. That pyrokinetic plant dude, and of course everyone's favorite, Ultimate Way Big.
Oh yes, yeah, but yeah, he even does the Specium Beam.
But here's the thing, though. His best transformation, believe it or not, is actually Ultimate Homo Sapien. which is something that current Ben doesn't do. It's something that Ben 10,000 does. Ben 10,000 in the universe where he still has the Ultimatrix, becomes an ultimate Homo sapien, which gives him the powers of all the other aliens while staying in his human form. Like, that is his most powerful transformation. It's like being a king piece on a chessboard, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I look like I am my weakest form, but I have the powers of all my strongest forms. And that is the power of being human. In fact, I've made the argument that the reason why Kamen Rider keeps beating all of Shocker's Kaijin is not because he is the most powerful cyborg, but because he is the most human. It's his human abilities that makes him more powerful than the other cyborgs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you guys heard of the upcoming Boon Violet special? Yes.
Yes.
I'm excited for it. What exactly do you know about Goju Leon at this point? Nothing much. All we know is that he let a fan down. But hey, we do know that allegedly Sumino's sister was killed by a guy with silver eyes, and Byakuya has silver eyes, as it turns out. So let's see. What if there's some kind of interaction between her and Byakuya that's gonna reveal some hidden details about her and Moida?
Maybe.
Who knows? Maybe it's a different guy with silver eyes.
Could very well be.
Yeah. Man, the ninja ring has been getting tossed around a lot, but not as tossed around as the Delta Gear.
Nope.
Yeah. It still bothers me that the only character in all of Kamen Rider to use the Phase, Kaiza, and Delta Gear, all three gears, the only person to have ever used all three of those
was Kusaka.
Fucking Masato Kusaka. I hate this guy so much.
Dude, I remember when I first watched Phase years ago, there were so many times where I wanted to punch Kusaka in the face for what he did.
Yeah,
for the things that he did.
You know what's funny is that G3 is kind of the opposite, where everyone becomes G3, but Kusaka becomes everyone.
Yep.
Do you think it would be cool if Goju Polar uses the Geki Red Ring? He actually transforms. Well, okay, I'm going to stop you right there. Geki Chopper's not a 6th Ranger. He should be,
no.
But he's not. And I really feel bad for Nikolai because he got that energy drip and writing that you would get from a 6th Ranger, but he's not. Meanwhile, it's like he's like the opposite of Eric Myers from Time Force, where Eric Myers is like standing at the Jedi Council, and Jason is like, it's like Eric, you have a seat on the Red Council of Red Rangers, but we do not grant you the rank of Red Ranger. It is not fair. Meanwhile, at the Council of 6 Rangers, you got Dominic Hogar, and you got Tommy being like, you may have a seat on the council, but we do not grant you the rank of 6 Rangers. Like, oh, that's okay. I'm just here for the pizza, to be honest. Yeah, it's like you can tell there's a difference in energy. But yeah, no, it's Rhino Ranger has a seat on the council, but he's not a 6th Ranger.
Yeah.
So do you guys consider? We literally just answered that. I'm happy that Shinken Red Universe Warrior will get to be an actual character. Yes, maybe she will also get a battleizer that's made of cloth. So since Black Sister seems to be okay, does that mean that the whole subplot with Leon being kidnapped meant nothing? Again, it could be a different guy with silver eyes.
Yeah.
Or heck, maybe her showing up might be part of the distortions caused by Tega June. You never know.
Maybe.
We have next episode and possibly the episode after to find out. So I learned of the fourth series to take place in an alternate universe, last three being Kyuranger, Zenkai, and King Oger.
King Oger took place on another planet.
Yeah.
Not another universe.
Yeah. Kyuranger, yes, was in another universe for sure. Zenkaiger, it's not so much that it's in another universe as much as it's the hub of a multiverse.
Yes.
Yeah. I've been having this odd feeling that Goju Polar will betray the other. I mean, he is his own agent, so. Did the Ring Hunter lose the Gulf? Until I see them? No. Until I see them, no. The ending theme is really good. I mean,
it is pretty good.
Yeah. But I like that Goju Polar opening theme song way better than the one we actually got. So why did Shinken Red get a skirt, but Car Ranger not? Well, I think it's... Well, first of all, I didn't really get a good look. I need to look at it again. But keep in mind, Shinken Hime was an actual thing that happened.
Yes.
Yeah. And to be fair, Kijin no had to wear a skirt when he turned into a different Pink Ranger, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, so, make the most of it. Which Sentai show had the least forgettable monster of the week? Because right now I'm thinking Gozyuger is the one. Okay, I'm going to be real with you. You know who's the most unforgettable monster for me? General Porkchop from Ninja Storm. You know why? Because he wore that chicken suit when Tori said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have to save my friends who are trapped in the popcorn."
Yeah.
Because imagine if that wasn't a pig alien monster disguised in a chicken suit. What if it was some random normal guy? Yeah. But of course, who could forget Footzilla?
Yeah. Yeah. Just there's
you?
so many unforgettable monsters. Like, how can we forget the pizza monster from Car Ranger / Turbo?
Yeah, a Pizza Mike.
Yep.
Yeah. Wasn't that also the same episode where they introduced the Turbo Cannon?
I haven't seen Turbo in a while, but I did recently rewatch Car Ranger with a friend.
Yeah.
It was the engine cannon. No, the engine cannon is Green Racer's weapon. The Giga Booster was introduced in an earlier episode than that.
But still, it was funny watching Demetria just like play a clip show of the turbine laser, and like all the other Rangers like, like if you ever watched Army of Darkness, what I'm talking about. When Ash is like, this, wait, hold on. This is my boomstick. And then he starts like going over the specs of the entire the complete specs of his rifle, and everyone's just like looking at it like, oh, like it's like, oh, I might get myself one of these things. It looks, I got Inspector Craftsmanship. It's really nice. Remember, shop smart, shop S-smart. But yeah, I think that's it for the comments, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stick around later today, as of the time of this stream, for the latest episode of Kamen Rider Gavu. It's crazy holiday week with a lot going on, so we're doing both superhero time streams on the same day. 3 hours apart, but we hope to see you guys again real soon. We love you so much. And happy 4th of July weekend. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon. Stay notified for our latest videos. We do Ultraman Omega this Monday.
Yes,
This Monday.
we do.
We can watch the debut episode tonight on YouTube. I'm definitely going to be watching it tonight after the Kamen Rider Gob stream. You could also watch our discussions of Kamen Rider Gob on Wednesdays, No.1 Sentai Gozyuger on Thursdays, and classic Kamen Rider on Sundays. We only have 8 more episodes and a movie to discuss. We're almost done with it. We're almost done.
You're getting there.
We're getting there. We're almost done. We're almost done. Yeah. And then finally, we can finally spin that wheel. Also, check out our latest interviews. We got to meet all 3 members of the VR Troopers, and all 3 of those interviews have been uploaded to our YouTube channel. Be sure to check those out. And be sure to see our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we do various movie discussions and TV show discussions. We finished our shorts for Gundam GQX, as well as especially we finished our Karate Kid month. We discussed all 6 Karate Kid movies, and we're going to move on to John Wick in honor of Ballerina coming out this past month. A lot of movies coming out this summer, so we have a lot to keep up with, let's be honest. All this and more on both of our channels, and if you want to follow our personal content, where can the people find you?
You can find me at youtube.com, Axel Ranger.
And you can find me on Instagram at Bogan_Kabuto and on twitch.tv/BoganKabuto. And if you want to say hi to us in person, you can meet this guy next week at G-Fest, July 11th to the 13th at the Hyatt in Chicago, Illinois. And if you want to say hi to us, we will be at the Burbank Marriott on September 7th for ToonCon. We're going to be celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Batman. Oh man, that show was so classic. So good. I particularly love the Game Master episode.
I was just thinking the same thing. All right. Name the true identity of the Batman.
You cheat. You said anything.
Yeah. No fair.
Admission of failure. But yeah, all this and more on both of our channels. Be sure to check it out. But until next time, which is in 3 hours, maybe actually even less. Stay safe, stay hydrated, update emergency kits, hug your loved ones, and we'll see you again real soon. Happy 4th of July, everyone.